no one loves John more than John loves John, as we all know. And here's another similarity between John and the Opster.
Sandy, don't talk like that. You know I don't speak Spanish.
So what's happening here is that John is rewatching, and his audio screws up, and he starts to restream, and it's better. So unfortunately, it's kind of annoying. But John is watching when he recreated Grease, or these skits. He's watching them with Nasty Neil and Nasty Neil's buddy. And John's very proud of himself.
Oh, it's true. This is the best summer of my life. It's not fair.
That's good acting. Yeah.
Oh, Sandy, no, don't spoil it. Sandy, don't spoil it.
It's not spoiling it, Danny. It's only making things better.
It's only the beginning.
Look at John. Look at the glee in John's face.
Like he held his child for the first time. He's so happy.
Yeah, holy shit. He's like, look at me. I did a thing. He sure did. Well,
Yeah.
Wow.
He was transported there. He wasn't, like Adam said, he wasn't there.
we have a lot of Stuttering John nostalgia coming up. But first, I just have to play this clip. I pulled this. It didn't make sense to play it on Drew's show yesterday, but I pulled it while I was prepping for Drew's show. Because when I was on Point Dabble Point, Kevin Brennan, they were replaying a clip of Kevin Brennan inviting John over to Kevin's apartment. And Kevin goes, I beg you to come over here, John. In fact, I will give you, and he pulls out $100 bill, you know? And so Kevin Brennan makes a joke because Kevin's a comedian. And John does not get the joke.
That's a job offer.
Not a Venmo, not a super chat. Hundo with your buddy Abraham Lincoln.
Now that's funny.
On the cover.
Now, this is where I really will ask you guys. Please tell me. This can't be a joke. Is this a joke? Oh, I'm not allowed to make fun of, I can't do Nigel Tufnell, right? Because that would be anti-gay, right? Is this a joke? But again, he's holding up Benjamin Franklin, and he calls it Abe Lincoln. I mean, this is the true sign of dementia, isn't it? Sorcerer, isn't this the normal stages of dementia? He thinks Ben Franklin is Abraham Lincoln?
All right. John is literally too stupid to get jokes. Because I was watching that clip before I watched John react to it when I was on PDP, and I'm like, oh, Kevin still got it. That's funny. It's a good gag. John not only went off on Kevin here, but in a later broadcast, he pulled out a $5 bill, and he goes, this is Abraham Lincoln. It's like, yeah, we know, John. Jesus Christ. No one thought Abe Lincoln was on the $100 bill, you fucking idiot.
John got so excited.
Yeah, I know this one. I know this one. Such a moron. So on Thursday of last week, John discovered that we have the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship special that aired on CBS. And before he discovers that, because this is going to tie into, once he does discover that, some of the things he says, he is tipped off that I declared myself a celebrity. And this tickles him. He is so excited. I think it was Vegas Beer Sales Jerry that goes, oh, John, you're going to want to watch this. Carl calls himself a celebrity.
Snaggletooth says that he's trying to talk about. All right. I'm going to tell you, this is unheard of, okay? But he actually said that he's a celebrity.
Good stuff. So then he decides to go find the clip because the guy sent him the clip. And he's like, I don't want to pull it up and play it. I don't know why. So we watch him watch it. And I sped this up because it's silent. You can't hear it. But watch what happens here.
Let's see. I want to just, without playing it on the air here, and make sure I'm not on there and I'm on here. I should have watched this first.
Don't violate any rights to publicity,
All right,
John.
so this is, let me see.
So this is him watching it. 5x speed.
Okay, he said public figure. I thought he said that he was a celebrity, which is... So I got the wrong intel.
Probably should have watched it first, huh? Probably should have seen what was on there before you just started laughing hysterically about me declaring myself a celebrity. But then John doesn't know how to just move on and just be like, all right, well, whatever. The person who told me that thing got it wrong.
Somebody said he was a celebrity. There's a big difference. Even the fact that he believes he's a public figure is fucking laughable.
Wait a second. Hold on. If I'm not a public figure, then I can sue John for slander because he said that he's a better guitarist than I am. I can prove this in a court of law. I won't be needing a lawyer, a celebrity lawyer for this one. I'll take care of this one, no fucking problem.
I'll take the case, Carl.
All right, let's do this. So yeah, I love that he's not even a public figure. Like, oh, that's not going to help your case, John.
Mr. Melendez, this nobody is better at guitar than you.
I rest my case, Your Honor. All right. Let's talk about this Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship. I want to give huge thanks to producer Joe Frog over at TSN, over the Sheepishly Network, because he's the one who was watching this in real time and texted me. He was like, are you watching John right now? I was like, no, what's going on? And so he was watching John discover that we have these episodes. And so John starts walking everything he said back immediately. And Frog sent me over just a couple of choice clips of what John was saying about this hosting job, the head writing gig, the network television.
Producer. He was the producer.
He was a producer on it, he declared at one point. And so let's just remember John bragging about this.
Wrote and hosted the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship on CBS, paid north of $20,000, and somehow I'm a zero in comedy. The Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship for CBS, I got just because my own audition, my own writing packet, if you will. When you write for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you write in the basketball player's voice. When you write for the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship, you write in the pro football voice.
All right, so remember this. John was the head writer. He wrote the show, and he knew how to write for these pro athletes.
He explained the process.
Yep. He did a very good job of that. He made a lot of money. And he also auditioned, and that's how he got the job as the host of the show. So, it's really fun to live in fantasy land and act like you're, the king of CBS when no one has the actual episodes to go back and refer to them. Well, then he finds out, oh shit, Carl got the episodes. So watch how quickly he starts walking some of this stuff back and trying to change the narrative.
They approached me. They needed a writer for the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship, one with a lot of experience. And of course, that's something I do have. So they interviewed a bunch of people and they picked me, much like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast, because I had good ideas. Anyway, then when we got to Vegas and check out the site, they realized they didn't have a host, a good host.
Or a good
the
writer.
director, this guy, Derek, who, is an Emmy Award-winning director for ESPN, he asked me, John, could you host this and do some correspondence pieces? I think 2 I did. I said, yeah, but then I talked to the producer and said, look, if my job has expanded, then I'm going to need more money. I can't forget if I made 25 or 30,000, could even be 35. I know that I think I started at 20, but then they added on. So I can't remember. It was more than Silent Mike makes in 2 years.
But John remembers everything. He's told me that. Yeah, he locks it all up in here. And now we can't remember dollar amounts that he was paid. That's interesting.
It's slushing around in there somewhere.
That's surprising. Also, this idea that he went from, I auditioned and that's why I became the host, to I was hired as the writer and then I went out there to scope it out and the guy's like, hey man, I don't actually have a host. You want to just host this thing for me?
Can you do everything?
Yeah. And he just, and Adam, you're in show business. I am not. So let me ask you, this seems preposterous to me, because wouldn't it be you get hired as the writer, there'd be contracts signed. Typically, you'd be working through your manager, your agent or something, and there'd be people reading it over, or attorneys figuring it all out. And then you get hired to do additional work on this project. They're like, actually, you know what? We appreciate you being the writer. We also are going to need you to host and do some correspondence pieces. John had to go to the producer and say, hey, can I throw in a couple extra bucks for this thing? Wouldn't there be new contracts written up? Wouldn't there be paperwork involved in this and negotiations and agreements on payment?
How about this story that the entire production got into a van, drove to Vegas, and Home Alone style, we're like, we don't have a host.
Kevin!
Yeah. Why is he there scoping anything out?
Why would the writer be in Vegas scoping anything out?
They left Mark Summers at an airport.
What we're going to learn is that this production ran out of money.
Yes.
Before it even started.
Yeah.
And doesn't have permission from the NFL to be doing any of this.
Oh, I've mentioned many times, it's the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship.
I won't say it again.
But Drew said on the phone, I was like, whoa.
So they couldn't get a host, or they couldn't afford a host, and they said, hey, will you do it? And I think the fact that he's going on and on about this big sum that he can't remember means he didn't get any more money. They just said, will you do it? And he said, of course I'll do it.
Yeah. So,
okay, I think
please.
there were two producers in a bar complaining loudly about them not having any money. And John goes, I'll do it for 20. And then they went, 1,000? Sure. And he's like, 1,000? All right.
That's funny. We're not talking about large amounts of money for network television.
No, we're not.
With multimillionaires, everyone who's on this show is a multimillionaire star athlete in the NFL.
Except for one guy.
Except for that one guy. All right, so John's showing off to his buddies, Nasty Neil and whoever is hanging out with him. He's like, you got to check out this promo. And now he's trying to play this game that, guys, the only reason why I brought it up is because people said I wasn't the host of the show, and I was. I just wanted to prove that I was the host of the show. So John's changing why this is even discussed. This has been a big part of his resume for a while. It's always Howard Stern Show, Tonight Show, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast, Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship.
OJ signing the knife.
It's right. So this has always been a big part of his braggadocious list that he goes through whenever he's challenged on anything.
So, again, I have to prove them wrong. So here we go. This was the intro on CBS. Wrong one. Hold on. That's a different one. Hold on.
That was pretty good.
Spent the money on video editing.
I thought that was the right one, but we'll have to look at it again.
Wow, he wasn't prepared for his own show. What are the chances? So he found the promo that doesn't feature John at all. It's just a band and all the pro athletes and all the cool shit that's going on. He's like, oh, whoa, get this off.
Yeah. You mean the stars of the show?
Yes.
Got it.
Correct. So, yeah, John's trying to say that he doesn't use this as his credits to let guys like me know. Specifically, he said this to me many times. Were you ever on network television, Lady K?
I'll wait.
He thinks I'm jealous of this, and now all of a sudden he's changing that.
All right, so now, news flash, right? So this is Lady K, Snaggletooth, and look at this. Now, this is an obsession. This is an illness. Okay, guys, this is literally an obsession with me and my life, right? So check this out.
As one of his big memories and a big way to stick it to me, I have amazing news.
How is it, first of all, how is it me trying to stick it to him? Is this guy that egocentric? Neil, is he that egocentric? So me talking about Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship is somehow sticking it to him?
The next day.
I've been on TV just do it. You haven't.
He literally brings this up every time he brings up the Pro Football Arm Wrestling. He's like, Carl's jealous. He was never on TV. I was on TV. I was the host and the head writer. And the reason why I use the term stick it to me is, of course, a Kevin Brennanism. I don't actually talk like that. It's a weird way to talk. So then John claims that all of the bragging about hosting the show that he's been doing over the years has nothing to do with me.
Had nothing to do, has zero to do with him. But he somehow thinks that I think about him any more than I have to. I mean, it's fucking amazing. Even that is laughable.
3 days later.
Jesus, the Bills are getting trumped.
He's right.
He's getting a little angry.
He's literally thinking about me while watching Monday Night Football alone in his house. He's just like, this fucking Carl guy's obsessed. He's got to calm down a little bit over there.
The whole reason he's showing these videos to Nasty Neal and that guy is because they're both filmmakers in New York for New York Comic-Con, appearing on panels as filmmakers and then going to see some like cool George Romero event that night. And they asked him if he knew who George Romero was, and he got so upset that they would think he didn't know this horror filmmaker that he just started showing them clips from anything he'd ever done on film so they would know he's an equal or a better.
Hold on, let me get my report card.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what this whole thing is.
So John is now showing them, us announcing that we have these videos, thanks to General GK. Thanks again, General GK, for tracking this down. And so he's going through and introducing who each of us are to these guys who he doesn't know who we are, even though one of the guys is like really into the Dabbleverse, one of Nasty Neal's buddies. He's like, yeah, I know all this stuff. And John's like, you do? But anyway, he's going in and introducing each of us. And for you, he says you have no shoulders. Have you heard that one?
He's not wrong.
His joke was Leonard Nimoy is going to host a show to find his shoulders. I was like, how old is that reference? Leonard Nimoy's been dead for 10 years or 12. I don't even know how long. Like, wow, okay. But anyway, it really...
Well, I have been zinged and I love it.
Yes.
Do Adam now. Do Adam.
Oh, all right. Let's do Adam. Here we go.
And this is that actor, Adam Bush.
Ooh. The hacker?
Okay.
Yeah, he's a hacker. I mean, and he's a guy...
Yeah, Buffy.
He's a guy that I introduced to Howard Stern.
Put some respect on his name, John.
What?
Put some respect on his name, John.
What?
Put some respect on his name.
On who, Stern or?
No, fuck Stern.
Oh, all right.
Anyway, Jesus Christ. I mean, what the fuck is he talking about?
Wow, John got flustered by that. We have an Adam Bush fan in the house. And John's like, yeah, this guy's a fucking loser. He's like, oh, the dude from Buffy. Yeah, no, I know that guy. It's pretty cool.
Put some respect on his name. He said it 3 times, and John did not fight back.
Oh, he didn't know what to do with that.
Barra-wussa.
Yeah, he's not used to someone challenging him.
Neil, get your friend the fuck out of here. He would normally throw them out of there. He didn't know what to do. That's amazing. Wow.
I'd like to believe that he just honestly didn't know what it meant to treat somebody with respect.
That's very possible.
What?
Very possible.
On his what?
So then it's brought up again, me being a public figure. And remember I played that earlier where John was discussing how, all right, that is different than being a celebrity. I thought he said he was a celebrity, but he said he was a public figure. Well, that changes.
I'm somehow sticking it to him by talking about the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship. No, people kept saying that I haven't done anything in 10 years. So I said, well, how about this? Okay, but okay, let's just get past how he really thinks he's a public figure. Fucking, this idiot actually believes he's somewhat, he thinks he's a celebrity. It's bizarre. He lives in the bizarro world of his own mind.
Yeah, he's a celebrity. Get him out of there.
Good one, Neil. So John originally goes, oh, he's a public figure. That's very different than celebrity. Okay, I get it now. And now he's just equating the two things together because he wants to rag on me or something. Mm-hmm. So now I'm an idiot for thinking I'm a celebrity. But all right. John is walking everything back that he said about this show and all of his credits and everything he did to make it happen.
He's going to edit it. Where, first of all, I wasn't the producer. I don't know where he did that.
You said that.
No. I was hired as a writer, but they they needed me to host. So it wasn't about being a writer anymore. It was just me hosting and doing the correspondent pieces. And, because quite frankly, the producer and director, they kind of shifted gears because they didn't have a host.
Hold on a second. Now he's not the writer? He's been the head writer the entire time he's been bragging about this. He was the head writer, but now he's not the writer because he knows we're going to watch it and it's not written well.
And by shift gears, you mean they walked off the project?
Yeah, they fired you? I mean, what are you talking about? Because at first it was like I was a writer and then they needed me to be the host also.
Then they shifted gears because they didn't have a host and they made him the host is what I think he's trying to say.
But you remember what he said earlier about the money? He goes, all right, I need you to be a correspondent person and the host too. And he goes, all right, well, I'm going to need more money. Yeah, and then he got more money.
We're just give us back the 20. We'll give you the 10.
Yeah, one of those games. So John's completely changing his story within the same episode of what happened here. So now all of a sudden he's like, doesn't even want to take credit for being a writer on this thing. So Disco Bob Ruzek, he shows his head from time to time. He's an ally for John. And he brings out something that John's crossing his fingers and hoping is true.
And because Disco Bob Ruzek, I got to credit him. He said, how are they allowed to even play this? Isn't it CBS's? I mean, can't CBS...
yeah, you would think so. So how did they? I missed the part how they got them. Like someone who worked
general fucking dickhead or whatever his name was somehow got CBS clearance and rights to give him. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
we salute you, General Dickhead.
We do. Thank you, General GK. So he's like, yeah, Bob Rusek said they probably can't even play it. How did they get it? From the guy who does clearances and rights? Yeah, right. Whoops. Idiots. But John's still hoping amongst all. Maybe they won't be able to watch it on YouTube. And so, listen, guys, John doesn't even care. Even though this is 35 minutes into him talking about this with these guys, I promise you, he doesn't even care that we're going to watch this show.
I swear to God, Neil, I could give a frog's fat ass. Yeah. I mean, who cares? It's not like I'm doing a monologue. I just fucking, okay, and this, and it's so pathetic. I'll go over the rules to each contest or whatever, and that's it, I don't know.
Don't ruin it for us, John.
Wait a second. I thought that he was the host who wrote the whole thing, and it was this huge special for CBS.
The comedy. All the comedy.
He was the head comedy writer because of the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast. They heard so many good things. And now all of a sudden, he was just going over the rules of arm wrestling and a correspondence piece or two. That's changing very much from what he used to say.
Yeah, he got this on. He passed the audition. There was several people there, dozens maybe. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just like they're like, you do it.
Now it seems like he kind of regrets doing it. It seems like he's happy it's not out there.
Let's not forget he was able to write all of this in the voice of the football players.
Yes, he did say that as well. He understands how to talk like NFL professional football player.
Could you imagine the producers when they got the script and it started with "Hello there"? Fucking asshole.
So he's talking about
You're going to see. I don't want to say anything, but you're going to see exactly what happened.
He's talking about his correspondence pieces he does.
Oh, but there are two correspondence pieces. I do one.
No.
Neil, stay focused.
Well, I was going to challenge him to arm wrestling, and you could host.
I did one correspondence piece on Fremont Street in Las Vegas. And that was just me getting people to arm wrestle. And then the other one I did at the Cirque du Soleil show where they put all the makeup on me. Mm-hmm. And that's about it. But I'm sure they'll edit anything that makes me look good, because they don't want that. I mean, that they're not going to just do it. That they'll really, I just realized
that you do care.
What did John say next?
What did John just realize? That I actually do give a frog's fat ass about this after all?
Gay.
He's so worried about this. It's incredible. And so, the guys are trying to help him cope a little bit. He's seeing some comments come up.
There's one thing I can say, at least I had glory days. See, this is the funny part about Snaggletooth. He is so excited for these tapes, but all it's doing is validating my television career.
Which is it? I know. What are we talking about
That's some
here?
great Whitney Cummings logic.
Yes.
Wait, so how are we racist? I'm confused.
So we were validating the last time John was ever hired to work in television. This is the last time he was hired to do anything in television. He's like, isn't this great?
I can't wait to see why.
Isn't this great? They're showing why no one ever reached out to me ever again to have a gig. Yeah, it is fun. And so Nasty Neil asks a very poignant question. He's like, so what embarrassing things are they going to see when they start watching these episodes?
Well done, Neil.
Look, if you have any memory, is there anything that would be embarrassing from from those shows?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Or is it just like your typical stuff that you did with Stuttering John?
Just typical. No, it's not even doing interviews. It's just me doing a correspondent piece like I did a ton of them for The Tonight Show.
Uh-huh.
It's me doing 2 correspondent pieces and maybe a little bit of, of my hosting. But it's not really, I'm not on screen that much.
Yeah.
That's the embarrassing part, John. That's the part that's embarrassing, is that you've been bragging about this, one of your major credits for years. And now as soon as you know that we've seen it, you go, I was barely involved in that project. I'm nearly not on the show very much at all.
If you're the host, you're hosting the show. What is a little bit of hosting?
Right. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out when he actually was hosting.
When are they going to get to the fireworks factory?
We're almost there. We're going to find out that John wasn't hosting a television show. He was hosting certain aspects of it, but not the show itself. But one last clip before we get into it. This is, it seems that I trigger John.
Look, this is funny. He triggers me. He's out there trying to get fucking the lost tapes. Who's living in whose head rent free?
3 days later.
Jesus, the Bills are getting trumped. Just do it. He's getting a little angry.
You got me, John. I'm obviously obsessed with you.
It's amazing how John has bragged about shit that he thought no one would ever see.
Yep.
He never thought anybody would see the Stephanie Miller shit. He never thought anybody would see this. And he's been talking about how great they all are for decades. John, this is the entertainment, buddy.
Yes.
This is the funny part.
Yes, catching you in these lies is the fun part.
Gotcha, bitch!
that we get to enjoy.
Who are these podcasts?